All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Maybe better. Maybe we're just better. What? We are better. Without a shadow of a doubt, we are better. And we are going to get into everything here onto the He's on Fire podcast with my very good co-host, No Lost November, Jay Joyce. I love that, by the way, bro. That is really good stuff. And of course, Amit. Welcome back, you guys. I'm glad everybody could come out today, because we have a really fun stream. You know why? Because we're just better. The Cardinals are better. The Suns are better. I'm not talking to you, ASU. Sure as hell ain't. He's on Fire podcast. Welcome back. Let's go.
Urbanchi sets. Looks up. And it is caught. Down strong. Blitz coming. Matthews. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. There he scores. It's over. It's insane. To the 4-yard line. Crowder looking. Throws it. Alley-oop. Oh! He puts it down. He puts it down. They're getting a little wobbly. The downfield shot. Ayuk. A foot race. They won't get it. Center field. The Diamondbacks are world champions.
I'm getting hype. Every day that goes by, I'm getting more and more and more and more hype. But I gotta ask my very, very good co-host a couple questions here. 2, in fact. The first one's to Jay. Jay, are the Phoenix Suns the best team in the NBA?
Yes.
Amit.
100%.
Amit, are the Arizona Cardinals the best team in the NFL?
I felt a week ago they are. They're the same. None's changed since then. Yeah.
The best teams in the NBA and NFL reside in Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome to He's on Fire podcast after a wonderful, wonderful bye week where we saw every other team just beat the hell out of each other, basically. Well, we got to sit back, relax, enjoy our coffee and eggs and whatever in the morning, and enjoy that 9-2 record. Meanwhile, Devin Booker goes out in the second quarter. I'm not going to lie, you guys. Selfishly, I'm really pissed off because, as a lot of people on Twitter know, my wonderful, wonderful significant other bought me tickets to fly out to Phoenix and go to the Suns and Celtics game next Friday night, and Devin Booker gets hurt. After that, man, he gets hurt. Devin Booker gets hurt second quarter. After that, I can't even explain what happened. What do you guys want to jump into first? Do you want to jump into the best team in the NFL or the best team in the NBA? What do you guys want to do?
Let's do NBA.
Yeah,
let's do NBA. Like I said, we all know that they're the best team in the NBA, and nothing changed for me from like Monday to Wednesday.
Albert.
I mean, what's up, man? It's the same. Like nothing changed. Like I saw the team in cruise control as usual. Devin Booker goes out. These guys step up. I think, and we'll get into it. I'll just drop this nugget now so we can talk about it later. But I think that we need to figure out who the third guy is going to be. From what that game looked like, is maybe it was the opponent, but Ayton getting 19 shots, and he's developed a nice little baby hook shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he scored 6 hooks in that game. And he was catching the ball, right? He was catching. He wasn't dropping the ball. He missed a couple bunnies, but I mean, 19 shots
in
for
a
Ayton.
row too.
Yeah, but 19 shots for Ayton, I think maybe a little bit high, but 10 to 15 shots, because he was not getting a lot of attempts. He was getting like 5, 6, 7, 8 attempts, even though he was playing really good defense and efficient with his attempts. But I think it's time we got to start looking at him because he's really good at passing out of it. It doesn't clog the offense.
It's true.
When he gets the ball, he can swing to the corners real quick, even quicker than I think he should be doing it at times. So, yeah, let's talk about the Suns.
Well, the crazy thing about what you're saying, and all of it is absolutely true, is everybody thought Mikal Bridges was turning into that third guy, right? And he only had 4 field goal attempts and 2 points, not to mention 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 4 steals and a block. He was just everywhere, though. So the scoring option for them, I don't know. Were you guys surprised at the lack of just mainly attempts that Mikal Bridges had? I sure was. You see him during the regular season, and he's just rocket fire, bro. He's not scared to go into the lane, and he seemed hesitant tonight. Or last night, excuse me. Didn't he seem hesitant a few times getting in the lane or not sure what to do, turning it over on a couple fast breaks? Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, 100%. Like he was very hesitant. Oh,
Good point,
yeah,
Game.
exactly, Timothy. Yeah, I was going to go into that. Yeah, he was very hesitant, but I think what he sort of did was smart for the most part by swinging the ball and trying to get Shamit and Jay going because, like to outshoot a shooting team, you're going to have to hit your threes, man. So, like soon as Mikal was swinging the ball to Jay, he started to get a groove on, and Sham, he was kind of bad that game, but like the reason why we picked him up was to hit those shots at the end of the game, and he hit 2 daggers, and he sealed the game, and there was a couple of times Mikal could have threw a lob up to DA, like this was a high intensity game. He put everything on the floor defensively, so he was he was the most impactful player last night. He was up and down the court practically the whole night. He was out there when Curry was, and I just want to jump into this real quick. I knew people were going to move the goalposts. That's how these things work with Arizona teams when they just completely outcoach the more dominant team by theory. But Curry had an off night on paper, but if you watch the game, every shot he took was contested or a bad shot selection that Curry tried to attempt. DA, worst case scenario, you don't want your center pushing up on Curry because usually Curry dreams of that. But DA did an incredible job stepping up on Curry, not biting on those pump fakes and hezzies, and he stayed in front of him. And Mikal did the same thing. Mikal is one of the best 3D guys and best going through the pick guys. The best. And it's just crazy how underrated Mikal's been the last 2 seasons just on the defensive side. Before the Warriors game, he didn't have anything up on for the odds makers and winning defensive player of the year. But now
it was plus 12,000 or 13,000 or something.
Yeah, and now it's like best chances right now. So Mikal's that dude on the defensive side for sure, and his offensive stuff is just progressing this year. And we just needed him yesterday to do what he did, and that Nets game too. Harden couldn't do shit. So
that's
so
true.
This is a guy that you need on your team, not a Patrick Beverley that's gonna have a couple techs in a game, give the other team some shots,
and ultimately not be a threat at all on offense.
Yeah, no, exactly. Mikal was all over Curry, and Monty's game plan with just covering Curry was down to a T perfect. And no one expected Jordan Poole and fucking Otto Porter Jr. to just not miss a shot the whole first half. Okay, let's keep it real. But not to discredit the Warriors. The Warriors played a really good game. It was a fun game to watch. I've never been so excited for a regular season game. I can't remember the last time I was excited for a regular season
I was so
game
pumped.
Like this. Yeah, it was a great game. My girl was watching it, and it was.
The Jazz last year when the Jazz were number 1 in the NBA, that was big, but it did not feel like this at all. Ahmed,
no,
please.
not at all.
Yeah,
Ahmed,
so I got 3 talking points. So all the Suns podcasts and everybody else is talking about the Warriors. So I want to talk about them for a second. So Jordan Poole, that dude was on fire, right? You can drop the he's on fire for that dude if you want, but the dude was on fire. I wouldn't do it either. But
6 for 12, by the way, from 3.
Yeah. which is, I mean, and that's what kept them in the game, right? Like his shooting, just some Wiggins, like just hero ball stuff. Like, I don't know if I trust these guys in the playoffs. And that's the difference between them and the Suns. And that's why I want to talk about them. I like their offense. I like the movement. I like the gravity that, especially when they get Clay back, that they're going to pull with Steph. But I don't know if I trust these guys in the playoffs. And if you're going to bring Wiseman in, like Wiseman is inexperienced. Like DA was an inexperienced big, and that guy played at, I'm not exaggerating, he played at Hall of Fame level. Like he put up Hall of Fame numbers in the playoffs, 80% shooting. I mean, so, you know, comparing these two teams and saying that they're on the same level, I understand from a record standpoint, and we always talk about the regular season, and then we always forget, and then we go to the playoffs, and then we're like, well, it's a different story, right? So I kind of think of them as like the Nash Suns teams right now, whereas they're getting a lot of great play from some veteran guys that have never proven themselves. Not even veteran guys, just some younger players that haven't proven themselves. And we'll see how that goes, right? The second thing I want to talk about was Curry. So you mentioned Curry. Hold up real quick. You mentioned Curry, right, Jay? Yeah. How it was his worst shooting night. He some of the shots got blocked. We never talk about Curry taking bad shots. Yeah. We never say
he takes a lot of bad shots. Yeah.
He takes a lot, and he airballs more than, I mean, he's the greatest shooter of all time. Do you guys ever remember Nash airballing a shot?
Nope. I mean, maybe when the shot clock's going down and some throwing up crap,
like
right?
A rush one,
yeah, like maybe like a weird layup or something. But he never. I can't remember him not hitting rim at the very bare minimum, right? So
facts.
That's facts. So that's the second thing. The third thing was the Mikal thing. So he only put up 2 points. You know, I think a lot of it was just defense. Like I think he was gassed, just chasing Steph around. And
I was going to say that 100%.
Yeah, he was 100% gassed, but
right. And so I think what he needs to do is maybe find a way to pace himself a little bit, the way that Kawhi does, because Kawhi will sometimes not play defense, and then sometimes he just turns it on, and you're like, oh my God, this guy's a Terminator. Because he has that ability. And we saw it on that play, especially that play where DA stepped out and guarded Steph. And then he was able to reach around Draymond and make the steal. And I think that was the game sealer right there. So, I mean, but then props to DA, because he just stated he was disciplined 100%, didn't do anything. Before I've seen where he gets in this spot, in this spot, and all he does is put his hands up, but he was able to move his hips, move around, be lateral, kind of turn a little bit here and there, just to see what Steph would do and force him into, you know, just a position that he didn't want to be in. And so props to both those guys, man. Those are the defensive anchors for this team.
Let me add a couple more things to that Warriors thing, right? So with the moving the goalpost thing, right? Like all of us expected it, you know, it's nothing new. But I just want to make it clear, like everything that I've been seeing, they're like, man, if James Wiseman was in or Klay Thompson was playing. Yeah, if Klay Thompson was in, he would have definitely been a factor. He's one of the most streakiest guys I've ever seen. And I think I can speak for everybody here. But like when Klay comes back, if you like it or not, he's not going to be the same. He was great on defense before, but when you have like the injuries that he had with his knee, he's not going to have that lateral movement like as it was before. His shooting's still going to be there. That's no question. Like I'm not doubting that, but with the defense, I think he might lay off defense. And James Wiseman, wasn't he trash last year and they took him out because he wasn't contributing or anything?
If you guys remember,
what are we talking about?
That guy.
Thank you, Alonzo. Yes.
Ayton owned him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like everybody did.
So like I'm just confused because that's what everybody was saying. And I'm like, why? Like, yeah, Wiseman's a big body. He's a rookie, like was a rookie, but like he wouldn't have added anything. Like DA would have just did the same thing. Like DA was locked in. He was working whoever was on him. Like what was Looney doing?
He's not good. Kevon Looney's not good.
He's just a body and he'll get a couple boards for you. But like DA was locked in. When DA's locked in, you can't do much. That's why he is like borderline top 3 big men in the league. Like he's past AD. Move AD down. He's been awful.
Yes.
But
and then Kevon Looney's averaging 5.5 points and 6.5 rebounds right away.
Okay.
By
How
the
many
way,
minutes?
like
How many
really.
minutes?
Let me double check. Minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah. So
But
JaVale is
yeah,
destroying the guy in minutes.
like look, this Warriors team is good. Okay, like don't get me wrong. I don't want to see him in the playoffs. All right, for any team
I do.
standpoint, I don't want to see him. But like we got to be honest here. And Suns bias aside, that like the Suns are a better team all around, and we'll beat them in a 7-game series, like pretty easily, probably within 5 games. If we play smart and everybody's healthy, if you want to have Klay Thompson and James Wiseman in, cool. That slows down the ball rotation, and that doesn't really fix the turnover thing either. Like everyone that's starting right now, and when Klay and Wiseman come back, those guys go down into the bench, and that turnovers are still going to be the same. We still have a better bench. Like I texted Evan before the game, or I commented on one of his posts. Like Golden State's one of the worst teams when it comes to turnovers this season.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're 28th, and I think they just dropped further because of the game last night. Like they don't take care of the ball. Yeah, it's a lot of movement, a lot of swinging, a lot of switching, but like their turnovers alone cost them the game. It's not Curry shooting. Like they were playing. Like they had a good shooting night from kind of everybody else, but they shot themselves in the foot.
I gotta get my head around this. So people are telling me that they lost the game because they didn't have Klay Thompson when nobody said a damn thing before the game. Okay, bro. And they're saying the same thing about James Wiseman. Yeah, go back and watch what he did last year, and he's been injured, so it's not like he can go out and practice. Also, by the way, the Warriors had 22 turnovers, 22-12. Like, are you kidding me? We won off of
turnovers. That was good defense. That
was great defense. Yeah. That was great defense. And I don't mind Mikal not being the scoring option if he's going to put his all into guarding the best player and shutting them down. So you're going to tell me that Mikal Bridges can shut down your best player, Curry, Harden, Luka. By the way, he always shuts Luka down. So he's going to go out there, shut that guy down. He's not going to be a scoring threat, but we get to pass it to Jay, pass it to Cam, have Book. By the way, if Book was healthy, we would have won that game by 20, just for the record, just so everybody knows.
We would have pressed the gas in the third for sure.
Because those Alfred Payton minutes were terrible.
That was awful. I want to touch on Landry Shamet as well too. Yeah. I'm sure Roy's been waiting for this. Cam Johnson or Shamet if we put him on a shooting guard. I say Cam Johnson, but Monty is going to put Shamet in so he doesn't mess with the other rotation, the other parts of it. He did that last year when Booker was out, and when Ayton was out earlier as well too. He didn't slide somebody else in. No, he's going to put in Shamet. I promise you that. If he doesn't, I'm wrong. That's just what he tends to do.
The problem with doing Shamet is that means Alfred Payton more minutes. That's the problem. I agree that he's going to do Shamet, but
Alfred Payton's defense man-to-man looks way better than Shamet right now. Don't even fight me on that.
And his plus-minus is terrible, dude.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
I mean, he was only in for like 6 minutes.
So he was in for 4 minutes. Went 1 for 3. You see the speed. The speed is obviously there. The defense is obviously there. But if he's going to play kind of a combo guard thing with Cam Payne needs to have the ball. This isn't a discussion either.
But then he has to be able to shoot the 3 though, and I don't think he can.
No, he just needs to be able to get inside to the paint again. He needs to get the ball, at least pump fake it or something, or get the ball real quickly and then drive it, get to the paint so he can lay it in, which I trust him when he gets to the paint, or pass it back out to somebody else. But it can not be in his hands to start a possession. It just can't. And that's not even up for debate, Monty. Don't even get me started on you walking out to the Shaqtin' a Fool moment, walking onto the court with 3 minutes left or whatever that was. That was funny though.
Yeah. I thought Kirk called a timeout. I
thought so too.
Yeah.
But the thing that frustrated me the most last night was the lack of JaVale McGee playing. He only played 8 minutes. Ayton played 34. We tried to go small ball. One of you tweeted, I'm going to say it was probably Jay. We're trying to go small ball, matching up with them, and man, that just did not work. Why are we matching up? Like, look how much better we were when we were using that mismatch against them. So, in my opinion, stay true to yourself and don't try to play the other team's game, because then you're playing right into their trap. Don't do that. Nobody really outside of DeAndre Ayton lit it up. Cam Johnson had 14. Book had 10 before he went out. Chris Paul had 15. Crowder had 14. Shamet had 9 for all of his offensive struggles, and McGee had 8. It was just such a well-rounded game, and I'm surprised Campaign only got 6, y'all. I thought Campaign would have a really, really good game.
He hit
been up
2
and
dagger
down.
threes though. Like
He did.
Yeah, we needed those threes. Like anytime we went up by like 5, 6, like Golden State would hit a 3, and like those 2 Payne threes were like what we needed to get that momentum going again. Yeah, they were money. Yeah, for sure.
They were money, but he had some really bad turnovers too. Like there was a couple times where he tried to make
easy passes
and it just it was just he's up and down. Like and the thing is, like, it gets in his head. You can see it on the court because then he tries to he over tries, he over helps, starts fouling people.
Sam Iverson.
Yeah, I mean Shamet, he hit that 3 at the end there that was the clincher, but he's up and down. Like if you look at this entire bench, even though we're on this win streak, like the most consistent guy has been JaVale McGee.
Yeah, like he's been amazing, phenomenal.
Like, isn't that crazy to say? I mean, I know Cam Johnson's been coming on the last few games. He's been really dialing it up and figuring out his role, but Shamet hasn't figured it out. Campaign, for whatever reason, he has these monster games and then he has these like subpar games. And we don't have Frank. So it's like, it's crazy that this team is able to win with the inconsistency that they've been getting from the bench. And I think it's really because the bench overall against who they play from a competence standpoint is better than who they play. They're just a better 5 group.
They're better coached, man. They are coached better than 90% of the teams in the league. They know what they're trying to accomplish. They know what they need to do. They make the necessary adjustments, and they go out there. If I had to nitpick on some things, Cam Johnson and Landry Shamet falling for every damn pump fake around the 3-point line.
Yeah, that was really
just annoys me so much. The small ball rebounding, when we tried to do that, was absolutely horrible. We gave up 15 offensive rebounds, and they out-rebounded us 51-35. Yeah. That is a big no-no. Overall, obviously, we won the game, so why am I complaining? But this is nitpicking at this point. After that, dude, Shamet, I'm really starting to question that contract, y'all. That's starting to get to me a little bit. It looks like he's getting beat on defense. I am not off the Shamet train. I'm getting pushed off, and I'm noticing his play more and more. Amit, where do you stand with Landry Shamet?
I think his defense is good. I think his team defense is good. His on-ball defense is pretty good. I think we've been saying it. He's been rushing, right? Like he's been rushing his shot.
Yeah.
I want to see the ball in his hands more. I don't want to see the off-ball JJ Redick threes anymore. I want to see the ball in his hands because he was able to create a couple shots last night in the last few games. It's a mix-up for the defense when he starts doing pick and roll action, or Spain pick and roll. Like if he's the second guy in the Spain pick and roll, I want to see more of that. Then I want to see him just moving around trying to shoot threes.
Ooh,
because go ahead,
Jay. Before we get to you, I've got a really good set I just found on here, so I want to interrupt when Amit's done.
No, I mean that's it. Like I think we need to find what his role is going to be because it was a little bit different when he was with the Nets because he never got the ball in his hands as much, right? And even in Philly, he did get a little bit more, and that's where we saw the playmaking. I think that's probably what enticed James Jones to bring him on, but. He's not JJ Redick, dude. He's a lot more than what JJ Redick brought. He's a defensive player, a good team defensive player. He's quick with his feet, defense and offense. He can get to the rim. He can play make a little bit. We need to explore that and see what he can do. Maybe he's the third guy. Maybe he's a 6 man.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was picked up to be Devin Booker's backup.
Yeah.
We never had a backup for Devin Booker. Like that was supposed to be his role. So him coming in and kind of bombing like he has so far is fairly surprising. I do hope he breaks out. He did have a 20-plus pointer in there somewhere, didn't he? He had one game where he did break out, so he can do it. So check this out. Kiz just retweeted this. I don't know if you guys follow Kiz Hoops. Mm-hmm. Used to be a follower of mine. I don't know where he's gone, but check this out. These are the Warriors' stats when guarded by DeAndre Ayton. The Warriors shot 4 of 23, and they were blocked twice with 4 turnovers when guarded one-on-one by Ayton.
Wow.
All right, now listen to this. Stephen Curry, was 1 for 9, a turnover, and a blocked shot when guarded by Ayton. Wiggins, 0 for 4, turnover, block shot. Green, 1 for 3, turnover. Looney, 0 for 2. Porter, 1 for 2. Poole, 1 for 2. And what was it? Bazelica, whatever. It doesn't matter what his name is. Bialik, that's what it was. Yeah, whatever that was. But Curry, 1 for 9, a turnover, and blocked when guarded by Ayton. That is eye freaking popping numbers. That is defense that will travel. And me and Jay were talking about this right before we get on. It's not like the Suns are accidentally winning games. We're not going on this massive tear and not playing defense like the 04-05 Suns that started 32-4 or something around there. No, we're playing a style of basketball that freaking travels to every single arena in the league. This is not a fluke. Not at all. And I hope you guys saw the Colin Cowherd 5-minute snippet today when he was talking about how the Lakers are trash. We shouldn't be covering them. And the Suns are the team to beat for the next 5 years. That was the most honest journalism I've heard in I don't know how long. And
I heard it actually in LA. So I was listening to LA radio on my way to work today. And this guy who's a homer, he's a homer for the Lakers. And he was just he was flipping back and forth between the Suns Warriors and the Lakers Kings game. And he goes, 2 teams here are NBA championship material teams. These other 2 teams are lottery teams. If you see the quality of play between the 2 games, it's not even close.
No.
Yeah, exactly, Westville. I've had my gripes with Colin Cowherd and other sports media people throughout the years and stuff, but we haven't been good for a long time in a lot of different areas and stuff. So we see between the lines and stuff, but what Colin Cowherd said today and what Kendrick Perkins said today and JJ Redick has been backing us up the last 2 weeks. These are the guys that are really just being honest, this Suns team is fantastic and we win in adversity and when things aren't going our way, when we're having bad shooting nights, when we're just getting beat on the boards, when Aiden's out, we just keep on winning. And you guys want to hear a crazy stat for all my Mikal Bridges fans? So I saw this chart today. It was top 5 players that defensively have done the best on Curry. Percentage wise of what he makes Curry's worst shooting nights and stuff. Mikal Bridges was ranked number 1 at 11.2% of the last 30 matchups that Mikal has gone against Curry with. So
who are the other 4?
Kawhi was 1.
Sure.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mini Drake in Toronto. What's his name?
Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet. God, I forget the other 2, but yeah, Mikal was ranked number 1, and it was 11.2% of.
But you know what Cowherd did say though? He did say the Packers are the number 1 team in the NFC, which obviously we disagree with.
Yeah, but it's only because they beat the Rams. But we'll get into the football shit later. But I do appreciate everything that Colin Cowherd said today. It was very, very honest. Yeah, shout out to Albert. Everyone go follow him. He has a pretty good account.
Good friend from work. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, really? Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. What do you guys think of this? Before last night, there have been 2 other teams in the last 30 years that had a no-loss November. Can you guess? I think it was the 78 or 80 something Lakers that went on a massive tear, and then the Warriors to start that season.
I think that's right. I think there was a Laker team. I think that started 33-1 or something.
Or the 96 Bulls, maybe. Best team in the league. I mean, potentially the 96 Bulls.
Well, it might be. I went to the game where they lost to the Suns at home.
Lakers had 1, and then the Warriors. I'm going to say the 96 Bulls.
So the streak we just tied, franchise one. Then they go on a 14. Darren Collison. Yeah, I think Darren Collison was the other one, Iverson. I couldn't remember his fucking name, but What was I gonna say?
I have no idea.
Okay, never mind.
But
yeah, go ahead.
But, as great as last night was, I'm the guy that always thinks the other foot is going to drop, right?
Yep.
And this is all great and everything. Let's be realistic, you guys. This is December 1st, right? Let's be realistic. Amit, a while ago, you said you think this is like kind of a boom or bust season for the Suns, and like this is it. Do you still feel that way? Is the window open more? Obviously, that kind of leads into the Stephen A. Smith comments. But do you really think like this is the year and that's it, or where are you at? Where are you at now?
I think this is the prime year to start a dynasty.
I agree. I agree with that. I think this is the prime year to get one,
and then maybe 2 out of 3. Like something like that. And when I say 2 out of 3, yeah, and we're not doing the LeBron thing yet. When I say 2 out of 3. When I say 2 out of 3, I mean I'm saying finals 3 straight years. I guess it'd be 4 straight years for us at that point.
No, what? Really?
Yeah.
The 92-93 Rockets?
Oh,
he said
really
no.
good.
Sorry, 93-94 Rockets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a good team. That was one of the teams that beat the Suns. We would have been good if Danny Manning didn't get hurt that year. By the way.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you on
I
that.
can see the Rockets.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, these guys are coming into their own. I mean, that's what Colin Cowherd was saying. The thing is that what he was saying is what I was trying to tell Laker fans. I'm like, you guys invested in LeBron, an old LeBron. You didn't invest in like prime LeBron.
No.
You invested in an old LeBron that is eventually going to break down. Like all old guys that hoop, we break down. I got injuries from playing last night. I mean, it just happens, right? Like, and he plays 3 or 4 times a week. I play once a week, and it's like when I don't want to try, I don't try. It's like a totally different thing. Like, and honestly, he doesn't try either. So, like, I mean, we've seen that in the games where he's gotten burned by Mikal on back screens like so many times, right? So, the team, like Cam is coming into his own. Mikal is developing into this elite defensive player. If he gets an offensive game, and I have a nickname for him. I know all these people have nicknames for him. I have my own nickname for him that we can talk about at some point. And then what we'll see from Chris Paul is when he starts to decline is when he takes those centers off the dribble and he gets deflections or they block his shot, then we'll know. But at this point, he's Tom Brady, bro. He's Tom Brady. Like, it's like he's not slowing down. I mean, is he? Tell me he isn't. He put that one on the Houston guy between the dribble. Mm-hmm. He did next night. He did the behind the thing just to screw with the cat. I mean, he's playing at an elite level. We got to keep him healthy. He gets hurt in the playoffs when he has to pick up more minutes and he has to play more physical. We gotta have support from Cam Payne, Cam Johnson, DeAndre. They need to pick up the scoring so that he doesn't have to do as much in the playoffs.
Facts. And absolutely. I think we saw that last year. And somebody actually, I forget which Suns podcast I was listening to. This can actually be a good thing. Or maybe it was Flex. Flex said that this can be this can be a good thing because other guys have to step up right now in his absence. This can be a good thing. So let's look at it that way. Let's go get win number 18 tomorrow against the Pistons. Let's make some history. And then if we lose against the Warriors on the road off of a back-to-back without Booker, right? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care if we lose that game. I really don't. Rest Chris Paul too. We know what they're bringing. Let's rest these dudes. Let's let all these other young guys get as much run as possible, make as many bad decisions as they want to make, get it out of their system, learn how the Warriors play, learn how to guard Curry, all that stuff. Like, let's rest these dudes. I have no problem doing that. But if we win 18 straight, we got to go to number 19. So that's not going to happen with Chris Paul.
One game at a time.
Real quick, can we touch on, this is a very sensitive subject for some people. And I want to make sure that I'm saying this in a very delicate way. Can we talk about the Lakers fans drinking so much damn Kool-Aid of their own piss? I am so tired of having non-intellectual basketball conversations with Lakers fans, and Lakers fans specifically. They are the scum of the basketball world. Do not come at me and try to talk hoops and have your next thing say, oh, but we have 17 championships. That doesn't mean a damn thing this year. That doesn't mean a damn thing for this year. Bron don't got 17. How many does Westbrook have? How many does Anthony Davis has? They don't have 17. They never even seen that many in the while they've been alive for the Lakers. Like, what is happening this season? What is happening in the Valley? The structure of the Lakers team versus the rise of the Phoenix Suns, like, doesn't even compare, you guys. We are on some sort of amazing trajectory. I don't even know how to compare it compared to even what the Warriors were, because the Warriors weren't even good until those dudes were 27, 8, and 9, right? Booker's 25. How old is Ayton? 24. How old is Cam Johnson, McHale, Campaign, Landry Shamet? These dudes are young and they are ready to go. We are honing the Western Conference for the next 3 to 5 years, like Colin Cowherd said. And if Lakers fans can't see that and you will defend them to the day, you don't know a damn thing about basketball. Don't talk to me about Russell Westbrook. Don't talk to me about Anthony Davis. Don't back up LeBron James. Y'all remember when Kobe and LeBron James were talking about, or they had all those Kobe LeBron commercials? They wanted them to play in the finals against each other. Then when he went to Miami and Kobe retired and then he went to Cleveland, during that whole span, they had the Kobe versus LeBron takes and everything. All of Lakers Twitter backed Kobe, hated everything about LeBron because of this topic. Y'all hated LeBron and now you're backing him? Front running pieces of trash. Every Lakers fan, if you back this team and say they are better than the Phoenix Suns right now, you don't know basketball. And your 17 championships don't matter when Anthony Davis is on the ground, Russell Westbrook is throwing clanks, and LeBron can't get back on the court because he's injured. Shut your mouth.
Here's the reality. So living in LA, obviously I deal with this. I went to a meeting today wearing a Phoenix Suns sweatshirt. People are like, "Oh, you're a Suns fan. Why?" I'm like, because I grew up there. Not because I just, I live in a city where the team happened to be good for a period of time. Mm-hmm. And then the next question is, who's your second favorite team? In a whole group of 12 people, I said, whoever's playing the Lakers.
I love that answer. I'm gonna start using that.
But Lakers fans, at least the smart ones here, are realizing that this season's lost for them. The problem is I was trying to think. I'm trying to think back to our bad years, right? When we had Bender, like,
when we had 19 wins in a season, but now we're cocky.
Yeah, were we like, we weren't like throwing away the season. We were still invested in the team. I feel like end. Now they're not invested anymore.
The last 2 months they sat Booker, and then we had all those memes that come up with where we started, where we are, and it had Shaq Harrison and Bender and all those dudes starting. Davon Reed.
I think a lot of the Lakers fans are coming around now and understanding that this is a play-in team at best. At worst, it's a lottery team.
They're a top 10 team, but number 11's the Kings, who they barely beat last night.
Yeah, I mean, they had to have a really good second half, but it wasn't even like I said. I mean, they're just not playing the same style of basketball. And I take away the Suns and the Warriors. I mean, how are they going to do against the Nets? How are they going to do against Philly? How are they going to do against even the Timberwolves are starting to come on. So there's a lot of competition in that area that they're in, and now that there's a play-in, a lot of teams are playing. They're not playing to tank anymore. They're actually trying to win.
Yeah.
Right. And so, we knew, right? Like, we knew that this Westbrook thing wasn't going to work. The spacing was a fucking shoebox for these guys.
All of us talked about it when we did the seeding.
Everybody
all of us talked about it. We're like, how is this going to work?
Yeah. We just knew, and we knew that trading KCP was like that was their best defensive player. Like, how do you get rid of the guy?
Same with not signing Alex Caruso.
Right. And letting Caruso go, and now he's teamed up with Lonzo Ball, and those guys are balling out. Right. It doesn't. And then on top of that, like Malik Monk, he's streaky, and then you're relying on Carmelo to be a 3-point specialist, and he's either on or off. That's
Whoa. After months of talks yielded with little to no progress towards a new labor contract, Major League Baseball has officially implemented a lockout.
Nice.
Welcome to
shit.
2021, everybody. There is officially a Major League Baseball lockout. There will be no more signings. There will be no more trades. There will be nothing. Sorry to cut you off there, but man, that's
crazy.
that's a bad look for baseball coming out of COVID when you had 2 seasons affected.
Do you guys
That is
care
a
though?
bad
Do you guys
look.
even care? I don't
I
care.
love baseball. I love baseball. Baseball as a sport, as a game, I love it. I love the video game. It's hard to watch sometimes and for 162 games, but if your team is good, I'll watch every single one or at least have it on in the background.
I'll watch the World Series. That's probably about it.
I mean,
like
if the
going to the games.
Diamondbacks
The
are
games are
good,
cool.
if the Diamondbacks are good, I'll watch. But I'm just not invested anymore. I mean, it's just the way the traditions and all that stuff, the way that they like kind of dominate the game. It just, you know, why can't a guy celebrate a home run? You know, I mean, it's stupid. Like a lot of these rules are stupid.
We need to have Albert on for that. He is my go-to baseball inquiry statistic guy. He knows everything. So maybe we got to have you on soon, Albert. Wow, Jay. Before we go into Suns or Cardinals stuff, you want to close it out with some Suns talk that you got?
Yeah. So I also want to shout out Nick Wright. I don't know if you guys saw what he said today, but he basically he said like I don't know why the Suns get the disrespect that they do. He's like, yeah, I don't always pick them to win like these tight games, these big games and stuff. But you have to give props where props is due. You know, they were 2 games short of having rings on their fingers, and those last 4 games of the finals came down to Giannis playing the best 4-game stretch of like
his career
his career or anyone in that matter. And Giannis is probably going to go down as a top 10 player all time.
He might,
at minimum, probably.
He might. I mean, look, dude.
I mean, like if he keeps it up the way he's doing,
like 26 or 27. I think
he could. He could. He's got to win more chips. But what I saw was the refereeing of Giannis and the refereeing of DeAndre Ayton impacted Ayton's game in the finals, where he just couldn't. He didn't know what to do, and he even said it. He's like, the guy runs into me. I'm standing there. I'm 7'3" or whatever he is. I'm a strong ass dude. I mean, we know he's strong and long, but he's getting called for blocking, right? For a guy running into him, where it doesn't look like he's falling back. He's just playing defense. So it's like, you know, and Giannis is, I guess he's going to get those calls from now on. I guess that's what it is. And Giannis made the choice to make that kind of play because he wasn't doing it in the first 2 games. So, I mean, I hate to say refereeing impacted the finals. It wasn't the only factor, but it impacted. It wasn't the only factor, right?
It did. I could definitely say like everything just started to click for the Bucks that it didn't in previous series. Like that's why like I thought we can just not necessarily dog walk the Bucks going into it. It was just like their shooting was off, their 3-point shooting wasn't good, their big men were very inconsistent.
Budenholzer can't do anything with adjustments, and all of a sudden he makes all the adjustments after game 2 that he ever needed before in his life.
And all of a sudden, Giannis is hitting free throws, like just every
like 22 out of 23 free throws. By the way, some ridiculous stat.
Like everything just started clicking for them, and like all props for the Bucks. Like it's so hard not to like Giannis. He's such a likable guy. Drew Holiday, he's a great player. Chris Middleton, he's great, you know. But it's just everything started clicking with him. And when I was listening to Nick Wright talking about, the Suns team came this close to winning it, and if Giannis was 95% of 100. The 100% he was playing, like the Suns probably win this thing. But when he was
healthy Dario, what if we had a healthy Dario?
Or he didn't take Torrey Craig out, or
a healthy CP3?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, there's wrist surgery, right? So
there's so many factors to this, but
basically, what Darth Voida, welcome, thank you for tuning in, appreciate you, man. We'll get you on to talk Cardinals soon. Keep on disrespecting the Suns. I'm fine with it. I am fine with people not giving us any respect because you know what? We're winning, and I care more about winning than I care about Joe Schmo 24 in, I don't know, Philadelphia talking about his team. You know what I mean? I don't care what these people on Twitter are going to say, man. I don't care what Stephen A. Smith is or is not going to say.
Dude, we know think about this, though. Like, can you think back to a time where a Diamondbacks team, a Suns team, a Coyotes team, or a Cardinals team, or an ASU team was favored to win a championship. Ever. Never.
I don't even think during the Nash years we were ever favored.
We were
if
never
I'm
favored.
not mistaken.
We were never
I'm
It
sure,
was always San
I'm
Antonio
sure,
and the Lakers.
right. Exactly. And probably 93, 94, 94, 95. Probably one of those years we were favored.
You're probably right. 94, 95, I think we were favored when we had
Definitely
Manning.
not the Cardinals.
Yeah.
We were the D-backs were favored in 2001.
Were they?
They were favored. Yes.
Against
were
the Yankees though, on the money line though.
They brought
Can
in
someone
Kurt
check that in the
Schilling.
chat? Because
Yeah,
I think the
anybody in
Yankees
chat
were
wants to
favored.
check that.
Yeah, somebody tell us, because I'm pretty sure. Like, I think the whole entire planet. was
Darth, if
rooting
you want
for
to
New
come
York.
on, man, let me know. I'll send you an invite. We're just about to go into Cardinals
on,
stuff, so come on. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you the D-backs were. They brought in a whole bunch of talent, older guys that were ready to win. Schilling came in, Randy Johnson, like that team was ready to go. After that, I legitimately cannot think of another team that was favored to win everything, even Arizona State football.
By the way, when you are in Arizona, send me your Venmo so that we can put money on the Suns winning a championship. And I never bet on our teams. I don't even like to talk about
Put
it.
$50 on that.
But
hey, Evan,
me,
there's a new casino by the Cardinal Stadium. So
let's do it.
We'll go. We'll put money down. I swear to God.
Let's all three put
Oh my
money in.
God.
All right. Here's what I'm thinking, because I don't see it as a gamble. Because I hate to. You guys know I'm superstitious. I don't like karma.
Yeah.
But to me, it's an investment. I objectively watch the Suns and I go, I don't know who's better than these guys. I really don't. Like, they're so dynamic. I'm like, I'll just put the $50 down as an investment.
14-1 right now. We have the odds that this has to be old. Okay, August 20. Lakers were a 2-1 odd. No. I need some updated odds.
I think the updated odds for the Suns are 11-1. That's it.
That's fine. Oh shit! I'll put $50 on the Suns and $50 on the Cardinals.
There's a parlay for that, which pays out 10 times as much as that. I don't want to put money on the Cardinals because I am a little bit afraid with 6 weeks to go.
There's a lot more competition going on right now.
I'm just worried about injuries.
Whoa. Okay.
Injuries.
This is a great. I got to find the right color. This is a great tune in to go into Cardinal stuff here, or a great whatever you call it. I don't care. You do not. You just said we thought we were the best team in the NFL
right now without injuries.
You need to explain yourself, because I think,
dude.
And we still went 2-1.
Yeah, but if Colt was playing in those playoffs, we don't have a chance.
If Colt was playing with a healthy defense and a healthy D-Hop and a healthy Chase Edmonds, what would you say?
Playing at home, it depends on our opponent. If we're playing the Packers,
if we're playing on the road, it's a win. We know that.
Well,
week 2 in the playoffs, like our first game. Like, let's say we go against who would make it in?
Probably like Dallas or something, because they would be the lower of the top.
Yeah. Dallas is ranked like 10th right now. So I know it doesn't go by seeding, but yeah, they'll probably be down there.
Hey, we're losing to the Cowboys week 16, and we're gonna do it on purpose. I'm letting y'all know that right now.
I kind of want to beat them. Just because
there's
so many Cowboys fans in my
By
neighborhood.
the way, let me throw this trivia question out to you guys. So, do you guys know Kyler Murray's record in AT&T Stadium?
Oh, it's something ridiculous. He's won state championships there. He won a handful of games in college, plus a few in the NFL now. It's like 9-0 or 11-0 or something, isn't it?
I wish it was that much. Hopefully, it'll get there. He's 6-0. 3 state championships, Big 12, and then 2 with the Cardinals.
He's familiar with the field. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll take. You know what? You're right. Honestly, I don't think we're gonna need to get to that point. I really don't. We're gonna be able to rest dudes. I
don't like resting guys, by the way.
I don't either. I say play it out as you will, but in the NFL, you don't want to get anybody injured. I honestly believe that this team is primed for a championship run. Like, I trust Cliff Kingsbury to a T. I trust our second head coach, Vance Joseph, to do whatever he needs to do on defense. I trust exactly what this team is and wants to be. And they're very much like the Cardinals. They know what they need to do. They go out there, they execute, and they make adjustments on the fly. And it's very impressive. And the ways that they have been able to win games has been very impressive too. And now we've got Chicago coming up. Like, that's an obvious, like, do you guys think that's a win?
Yeah.
I mean, K1 and D-Hop were available for practice today, by the way.
Yeah, they were. I have to check the weather.
A lot of
report.
other people too.
I'm always going to fall back on the weather in Chicago.
Oh, let me go check while you're on. Good call.
Yeah, because I think that's the only thing. I'm pretty sure Justin Fields is out, right? He's injured.
We got the Red Rocket.
Okay, so that guy was trash.
That Thanksgiving game was fucking terrible.
And he was trash last year when we played him in Dallas. Take that for what you will.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say we have to play that Carolina game, and I'm pretty sure they're not gonna do that again, where they just don't even fucking care to even show up, to game plan, to strategize. It's cold, isn't it?
Let's just run it out.
48 degrees.
That's not that cold.
70% chance of rain.
Oh, rain is not good.
70%.
I like just run it Albert. Thank you very much.
Cardinals
right there.
8-1, Suns 9-1.
I'll put 50 bucks down on both.
We get to parlay that.
Those are good odds, man. I like that.
They dropped though. They weren't what they were.
Yeah.
Well, even a week ago, because I don't know if you guys saw that.
Better, that's why.
I don't know if you saw that there was a guy who put $1,000 on the Suns Cardinals parlay. It pays out like 113,000.
Oh, man, dude, I'm praying for that guy. I hope so.
Well, I mean, we all are, man. I'll invest in them with him.
Yeah.
So every team this last week faltered, didn't look good, weren't up to our best. Teams are getting beat up. We came on the podcast and we even said that we think the Eagles are going to be able to make the playoffs with their schedule. And then they go and they lose to the freaking Giants in like horrible fashion, to the point where the last play hits him right here, hits the ball in the face, Jalen Reagor, that is, and drops the ball and they lose the game. Like, everything is just lining up for the Arizona Cardinals. Everything is lining up for the Phoenix Suns. And I don't want to be that guy that's always having, but wait, letting the foot drop type of thing. But these teams play a style of ball that travels, y'all. And we've seen it time and time again. And I don't want to keep having to defend these teams. I'm not going to anymore. Again, I don't care what Joe Schmo says in Philadelphia or Toronto or wherever. This is a style of ball that travels. You know how much that matters? You know how much a running game matters when you need it with James Conner? You know how much it matters having a coach that can draw up the right effing play when they need it, when it's 3rd and 12 on an important drive? This team is built for it, top to bottom, y'all, because they answer the call over and over. They just do. Nobody can tell me otherwise. No other team has looked as dominant at times and resilient as the Arizona Cardinals. No team has looked as resilient as them. Anybody on here want to try to say another team has looked as resilient when your head coach goes out in COVID and they win, and then K1 and D-Hop and Chase Edmonds and Justin Pugh, Max Garcia, JJ Watt all go out? Like, no.
The only thing I would say from the only team I felt has been just as consistent, given like the kind of farts that they lay from times, is probably the Bucks, because they've kind of laid down on a couple games, but overall, if they play a bad team, they just smash them. If they play a good team, they win. That's the only other team I would say.
Sure.
We know the Packers have had an easy schedule. The Packers have had a really easy schedule.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad that they beat us if we got to face them in the NFC Championship game. That puts a big chip on our shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, we know exactly what they'll do to win, so you just got to counteract that,
which is our weakness.
They don't do that pussy shit
again, running.
So.
Running.
Darth had a really good point. Do you think the Cardinals running game lacks the depth to be successful long-term? Long-term meaning going into next year, or just this playoff run and season, however long that goes? I think they do lack, but remember, Chase Edmonds is probably going to be coming back against the Rams on Monday Night Football. That was tweeted out a couple times today, by the way. So he says rest of the season. Jay, please go ahead.
Like especially this season, I don't think we have a lack of running capability. Like Eno's proven that if we need him for a couple touches, like he can pick up some yards, and if it works out, But and then Connor, he's impressing us every week. He's just getting better, and today, like he wants to be here, like he wants to get paid. He really hasn't been paid shit. Like just him being in the league in general, everyone on this team wants to play, and as long as our offensive line stays healthy, and I'm pretty sure we have a bunch of picks next draft. I don't know if
I'd have to double check that. James Conner's 26 and only making 1.25 mil, by the way.
Yeah, so he wants to get paid, and he's proven himself that he's proven himself that he can do this. Like he can be a dynamic running back. He can be RB1, and even if we have to cough up Chase Edmonds and stuff, what do good teams get to do during the draft? Experiment with other running backs, guys that fall, fall deep in the draft and stuff. Dude, we can get trade them if we wanted to. I bet a lot of people don't know about trade them. Or
but you guys are
want to think about that.
You guys are missing our best running back, the number one running back in his draft class, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Like that guy. I mean, we haven't seen it because he's been hurt, and hopefully he's not running as much. He hasn't been running as much, and we saw from Colt McCoy on key possessions where he was running the ball in Kyler's place, right? So there's an element to our style of offense where I think we'll be okay running the ball. Even with Chase Edmonds out, because we do have a lot of sort of pass control running game that we do with the pass offense. So I'm not worried about that part. I'm more worried about, if the game is close and we need to drive, and Kyler's not available, or, the defense, we happen to have some injuries on defense in the secondary or something. Right now, we're looking good. We're looking good.
I mean, we survived games without Marco Wilson and Byron Murphy. I think there was a game or two where we were without our secondary. There's been games where without half our defensive line, mainly the Cleveland game. Half our offensive line has been banged up all year, except for a handful. Wide receivers have been banged up or COVID. AJ Green was on one. So I think Darth does have a point. Connor has been fantastic. Eno, long term, I don't think is quite it either, but I think as a reserve role, he can definitely provide what you need for X amount of games. Relying on him heavily, I don't think that's quite it either. Eno coming back against the Rams, I feel much better. I do too. It's, again, less wear and tear on a running back. That's overall a good thing. I kind of look at it as this season, we've gone 4 weeks since D-Hop and Kyler Murray had played. I think somebody had a podcast. They said it was the Locked On Cardinals podcast. If you guys don't know, Bo Brock and Alex Clancy, listen to them. They're good as well too. 36 days it'll be from when Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins got hurt on the Green Bay game to the Bears. 36 days. 36 days without football, without contact, without the grind on the body. They're gonna be so fresh. And if JJ Watt comes back, dude, it's over. I don't even, we can just stop right there. If JJ Watt comes back, I'm gonna freak out.
It's so funny because everything is recency bias, right? All of a sudden, Devontae Adams is the best quarterback in the NFL, and I'm like, dude, the best wide receiver hasn't played in 40 days. I mean, come on, you guys have forgotten the moves that DeAndre Hopkins put on
and
guys. Yeah.
You're forgetting, Amit, he was hurt this whole season.
Yeah.
He's had a hip issue. He had a neck issue. There was something else I feel like I'm missing. He hasn't even been healthy through this season.
I don't think he's played 2 consistent healthy games this season. No. I think the Tennessee game he was banged up. I'm pretty sure.
He was banged up from practice to start the season. James Conner, by the way, his whole earnings, he had $4.9 million in 5 seasons. not even a mil a season. So we need, I mean, honestly, if we want to talk about next year, bring everybody back because it's working.
Yeah.
Add something, add a big nose tackle maybe.
Yeah.
Outside of that, add some depth. Like Jay said, you get to experiment with things at this point. You can take that flyer on that running back, that's other speed wide receiver or something like that, or a defensive back. I'd love to groom another defensive back. I hated giving up Tay Gowan, by the way. He's doing good things in Philly.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
shout out
I mean,
to him.
honestly, I'd rather add depth on our offensive line. I mean,
give me
the
all the
center
lines.
position has
100%.
been,
Get another
really,
Hudson, man.
third string center was terrible.
It's
But
it's an amazing time to be Cardinals and Suns fans. Just an amazing time. So going into the Chicago game, y'all, Ahmed, I want to start with you. What are a few things that you're looking for if D-Hop and Kyler play? What are you going to watch on that game?
I think Johnny Venerable said they're playing. I think him or Gambo. One of those
Gambo
guys
said it too. They're expecting to play.
Yeah. So if they're playing, even if it's cold and rainy, I don't think I don't. This is the problem with the Bears, man. Like my wife is a Bear. She's from Chicago. She has a lot of Bears fans friends.
Bless her heart.
I know she doesn't care. She doesn't care about football. She's a Cardinals fan because our son is a Cardinals fan.
Oh, okay.
So it don't matter to her.
That's what I got to do with
right?
my son. That's what you're saying. I got to do whatever I can to make my son not a Cowboys fan because that's what my wife
groom
is.
your son, yes.
So here's another. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. So growing up in LA, my son, I've had to do everything in my power to make him a Suns fan because Lakers everywhere.
Yeah.
I had to basically take away love from him so that he would understand how much important it is to be a Suns fan. My wife was like, "You're crazy, dude. Like, why is that the most?" I'm like, he could be gay, he could be anything he wants, but if he's a Lakers fan, that draws a line for me. So anyways, he's bought in now and now he's spoiled because he's like, when do the Suns ever lose?
Damn straight, raise him right, Ahmed.
Yeah.
Exactly. To you.
So going back to the Bears game, I mean, dude, the Bears have never had a quarterback. Like they have that franchise. They had their best quarterback was Jim McMahon, right? Like they have sucked at quarterback. They have been so bad. Their defense has always been solid. They have the weather. They play with the weather. That's another defender for them. But the Cardinals, it would have to be a weird ass game where, we lost 3 fumbles. We missed some kicks where we lose this game. There's no way. I don't even know. Do you guys don't even know what the line is?
Matt Prater missing extra points and field goals and still winning, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, that's the point. Like, luckily he did it and got it out of his system, right? Hopefully that's
going to be rainy, by the way. That's kicking. That's tough.
Yeah, but we run the ball well, right? And we hold the ball well. So like I said, it's going to take some weird stuff for them to win.
I want to get to you, Jay, and I want to know what you're going to look at. But when you said we run the ball well and do that, you know what we also do very well? We have a really quite amazing 4 to 6, 7 yard passing game where we can do little things. Yeah, like passing to Rondale Moore when he's running wherever the hell Rondale Moore runs all game, and he can break something for 4, 5, 6 yards. Those
by the way, the line is
routes.
7.5.
7 yeah.
I was gonna guess 7. Yeah,
we're gonna get the over. Zach Ertz has been getting quite a few balls up the middle for that amount of yardage. AJ Green usually goes, the 10 to 12 routes. Christian Kirk's been getting a couple as well too. So along with a good run game, our short to mid-range pass game has been outstanding. And it's not like we're the Chiefs and we're blowing the top off, right? And we're doing all these amazing plays. No, it's so damn methodical and it travels. Jay, what are you going to be watching on this game on a beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning?
I think just a perfect way for Kyler and Hop to come back is just run the short game. Like you said, it's going to be rainy. The climate isn't the best in Chicago, but just have Connor and just have a solid run game, set up some screen passes, get Kyler warmed up. Have him throw a couple deep balls, a couple of 35 yards.
Not to D-Hop. I don't want D-Hop running up full speed this game. No.
Just send Kirk because he's been healthy. But Kyler, this is going to be a working the rust off, and like in this climate and stuff. So like it's I don't expect it to be like the prettiest game and stuff, but like if we just do the run game, short passes, screen passes, get Hop or AJ Green on some slant or curl routes, like we're marching down the field, dude. And like I'm glad
Eat
everybody
that clock too.
Oh yeah, beat the clock. Yeah, time of possession. Like if we win that, like we're winning the game. But I'm glad everybody didn't kill Matt Prater for that Seattle game. Yeah, at the time, like it was bad, but like everybody knows Seattle Stadium. There's a reason why they put it next to the ocean. Okay. Like that wind gust is terrible for kickers. So
Well,
Matt Prater,
it's worse than Chicago.
Yeah, it's worse than Chicago. Like kickers can deal with rain. My cousin, he played D2 kicker for junior college and stuff like that. And anytime I have like a kicker question, I go to him, and yeah, he breaks it down entirely and stuff. And I asked him about the Matt Prater stuff, and he said like he's been to that stadium, and it's just like it's just a pain in the ass just to kick there. It's a nightmare. So
I'm sure it's a complete nightmare.
Yeah. So. But just a run game, short passes. We march down the field, we score.
Time of possession, as you said.
Yeah, time of possession, and we can win this game by half. And just like throwing Colt McCoy.
That's what I'd like to see. Yeah, I would really like to see Colt McCoy play the fourth quarter,
and then Kyler just gets another kind of like week of rest until Monday, and we'll talk about that Rams game. I think that Rams game is more to talk about than the Chicago game, quite frankly.
We ain't getting into that right now. I know, and okay. I can't wait to be there. I cannot wait to go to the Suns game next Friday night. This is my first home game. I'm actually quite ashamed to admit this on air. This is my first home game since 2006.
That's fine.
15 years. Now, granted, 10 of those years, I didn't want to pay the money to go to the game as a broke college kid or just coming out of college. I didn't want to take the time. And then while I was in college, I couldn't really afford to be traveling. Now, with that said, I went to Suns and Hawks games when they were out in Atlanta. I'm going to the Suns and Jazz when they're out here in January towards the end. And I went to a few while I was in Michigan, a few Suns and Pistons games. But at home, it's been a while, and I can't wait for the Monday Night Football game. Things I'm going to watch for is exactly what you said, Jay. I want to see the running game. I want to see a healthy offensive line, and I want to see them coming out healthy. I don't want to see any more injuries. I don't want to see D-Hop having to do something crazy this game. I want a very methodical play calling for this. And I think Cliff is going to do that considering it's raining. So we'll see what that gets into. But I think this game is going to be very close to what Darth said earlier, 34-16. I was going to say 38-14. This sounds a little bit better. So I'll stick with what Darth is saying.
I say 34-14. Dalton can get 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to look at so I'm going to assume that the weather's the worst. I'm going to say 17-3 with 2 Kyler touchdowns running.
That's fair.
Perfect.
I like that.
Perfect. And I have a crazy, crazy WTF moment that I think is going to happen in this game. I think Andy Isabella is going to score a touchdown. I don't know why. I don't know how. I just think Andy Isabella is going to score a touchdown this game. I know.
When was the last time he was on the field? Can you guys tell me when he was on the field?
He's played a couple special teams, but the last time he did anything meaningful was that San Francisco game on Halloween 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he would. I thought he was going to score in that San Francisco game, just given the fact that was the last time he played, and Hop was out and Green was out, but that guy, what's his name, Antoine Wesley.
Antoine Wesley, I love him by the way.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
Ertz will get 2. I could see that. In a game like that where we're doing a lot of short intermediate passes, I could absolutely see that. But Andy Isabella is going in for a touchdown. Don't bet on it or anything. I'm just saying it's going to happen.
Oh, and speaking of Wesley, I don't necessarily want AJ Green playing this game, just because.
Why?
Like he's had leg issues before, and I just don't want to risk it on climate. Like if we can have him play like just a little
He's
bit and
gonna
just
play.
swap him out with Wesley, like I
That's a
think
good
that
point,
would
but
be
he
fair.
played in Cincinnati for a long time. Cincinnati's cold as fuck. I mean,
But it's a turf field too.
Yeah, it's a turf field.
that's true.
Yeah. Oh no, it's just wishful thinking. AJ Green's probably not worried about it. It probably hasn't even come.
But you
come
said
to
earlier
mind,
in the podcast you don't want to rest guys.
I didn't say that. He said that.
Oh, that was Ahmet? He's like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't
I
say
don't
that.
want to run this guy, dude. Here, let me go down the track record. Let me go down the track record. Colts, if you guys remember with the Manning, they were like 15-1. They rested, and then they ended up losing it. I think either in the divisional round or the conference round. Cardinals, 2015. We rested against Seattle.
Yeah.
We got blown out, and then we're not the same after that, right? Most recent was the Ravens. A couple years ago, they got destroyed by the Titans on the was that at home? Yeah, it was not at home. They got destroyed. I know the Patriots did it one time. It's just there's a bad juju with resting. Like at least play one half. Play one half.
I
Play
agree.
3 quarters.
Yeah.
And then call it.
I was a big advocate for the Suns last year to not rest or take games off or try to
Absolutely. Yeah.
get vibe for position to play who they wanted to play. You play the game, you play what's in front of them, you let the cards fall where they may.
Look at the clips. Look at the Clippers.
Who are just lost, by the way, to the Kings tonight. They just
are you
lost
serious?
124 to 115.
You know,
They just lost.
I had tickets to that game. I got offered tickets to go to that game, and I'm like, no, I got a podcast, bro.
No, I don't want to go see the Kings.
That too.
Yeah, 100%. Like in the NFL, you really can't be resting guys. Like
agree.
it just throws off just everything. Like Seattle,
Especially if you get a bye week too. So then that's 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Like our main guys had a lot of rest. So it's not like we need to be resting. At least one half. And I like I've been saying all year. And I have a question for you guys after this. Fuck, I totally lost my train of thought. I'll just ask my question. Okay, since we're hardcore Arizona fans right now, since we're on the Cardinals segment right now, this wishful thinking. I'm knock on wood. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say the Cardinals get to the NFC Championship. And then after that, they go to the Super Bowl. Who would you want to face in the NFC Championship, and who would you want to play in the Super Bowl?
Give me the Packers and give me the Pats. Give me all the smoke because I don't want anybody else saying otherwise why it's a fraudulent championship. Give me the best team because I think we're the best team. Give me the best. I want to play the best.
What about you, Alan?
Yeah. If I want to win, I'm gonna say I want to play the Packers again. I don't want to face Brady.
No, I don't either. No.
But let's say we get past that point.
Let's beat Bruce Arians.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. I would definitely enjoy that.
It's an amazing thought, but I'm just talking like we learned from the Suns finals. Okay, let's like I want to make sure we pick our people carefully.
In terms of,
I will block you, Albert. Don't start this.
Okay, in terms of AFC, I'll take anybody but the Chiefs. And even with the Chiefs, I'm not that scared. But if you're telling me like, Chiefs or the field, I'll take the field, but I'm not that afraid of the Chiefs.
Okay, I like that actually. Okay, as an NFL fan, plus being a Cardinals fan, I would love to see Cardinals versus Packers. I think that would be a kick-ass game. That the best Thursday night game on record
of the year.
And like these two teams, I don't like each other. There's this personal vendetta Rodgers has against the Cardinals for obvious reasons. We don't have to get into the whole historical things of these two teams clashing.
It's amazing how he'll take his shot in our stadium, but he won't take. Never mind, I'm not going there.
Evan, you motherfucker. NFC Championship wise, I think Cardinals Packers. I think that's probably the best
That would
both
blow the
ways.
top off.
And I think if both teams are healthy, I don't know
Yeah.
if the Packers are going to be at full health by then. They're just injury riddled like crazy this year. I think Cardinals win that. But in the Super Bowl, like for us to win completely, I would like to go against the Pats. But as I think a very fun Super Bowl to watch would be against Buffalo.
You're not wrong. People, no matter who we play, we're going to be counted out, right? Doesn't matter
Yeah.
who we play. I want to play the Packers because they believe that they're the best team. Part of me also does want to play the Bucks because I want to beat Tom Brady. I want this team to beat Tom. I want to beat the number one team. And I do want to put it to Bruce Arians, who left us high and dry without a QB. I'm very salty about what Bruce Arians did to this franchise. I'm happy
That might
for
be
what he
some
did.
karma. That might be some karma coming
That
up.
could be some karma, but as of right now, if everybody's saying that Green Bay is the best team, I want to play them. But you can't count out Tom Brady. AFC, I'd love to see the Chiefs. I'd love to see the Bills. Everybody says it's the Pats because they're on a 6-game winning streak. So I want the
They
Pats,
really haven't
and I
played
want to beat
anybody.
Bill Belichick.
Dude,
And they play in the weakest division for the last 20 years.
the Bills have fallen off. Like people thinking the Bills are going to make the Super Bowl. I mean, they're going to have to prove it over the next few weeks. They have fallen off defensively and offensively.
Josh Allen does so much for that team, and it like when it doesn't work, it's awful. So like I just said, like I don't know if you heard me, but if like
no, I heard you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like a good Super Bowl. I think Cardinals Buffalo and Cardinals win that like pretty single
It'd
handedly.
be nice if they get there. I don't know if they're going to be having even a chance to get there.
Yeah, the NFC Championship is going to be tough.
They were looking at a bye week, and now they're looking at wild card.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It was just something that came to mind today while I was in traffic, losing my mind. But, yeah.
So, we all agree Suns are going to beat the Bears. What are your guys' thoughts?
You mean Cardinals? The
Cardinals
Suns beat the Bears, dude. That's
Cards.
forget about
Cards are going to
18
beat the
game
Bears.
wins.
Excuse
We're
me.
talking about some...
I want to talk about the Suns and going to Golden State on Friday. Now they got to beat the Pistons tomorrow. I think everybody would agree here they're going to beat the Pistons. Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I would like to break the record, but I really want to just be Golden State again. That was, I love that feeling. I was so pumped for the whole night.
At this point, I want the record. At this point, I want.
Oh yeah, at this point, yeah. But
record.
If we beat Golden State again, I like. Oh God, we're the talk of the town.
So before we go on next Sunday night, are we going 2-0 for the Suns, or are we going 1-1, Jay?
So last week or the week before when we did this before Thanksgiving and stuff, I said undefeated. I'm just gonna roll with it, undefeated again.
Go, my man.
Yeah, just do it,
my man. Amit.
I thought we were going to lose to the Nets, if you guys remember. So
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So at this point, without Book, that's the tricky part. Jeremy Grant, I don't think you guys have been watching this dude. He's been balling out. Cade Cunningham is coming around.
Watch out for Cade.
The Pistons are playing better. They'd have to shoot like 55% from three to beat us.
Yeah, they have to have a good shooting night or like above decent. Yeah.
A really good 3-point shooting night and with low turnovers and probably dominate rebounding to win. I think Aiden's going to have a big game. I'm going to pick the Suns in that game. That Friday game, I know that Wiggins has an injury. I don't know who else is injured on that team.
I wonder if they're coming off of a back-to-back.
James Wiseman.
Look at
James Wiseman and Lee.
Of course, dude. The Warriors sure aren't playing. No,
of course.
They get 2 days off before they play us.
Dicks. I'm gonna go ahead and say they're just gonna have one of those Steph games, and whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, let's rest our guys one way or the other. Either we rest them from the start or we rest them, from the third quarter on, with the idea that we just got blown out. I'm just gonna go ahead and accept that L. Because I think the most important game
we play again
is Christmas.
That, by the way,
the most important game is Christmas Day.
Christmas, yeah. I mean, my prediction on Twitter, like the day before the Warriors game, I said we'll probably go 2-1 with the Warriors. Us winning that first game, then Christmas. I'd rather win those two, and then they can have this middle game. Like, who gives a fuck, you know?
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 1-1 because every week I come on here, I keep saying that they're gonna lose a game, so I'm just gonna keep riding that. And I could see a realm of possibility where Detroit can come in and win, just because Booker's out. They're tired. It's not as of a hype game, right? You just have a tendency. You're playing the number one team, and now you're playing what arguably the worst team in the league. You know, there's a normal drop off in tendency, and you leave a team in and give them some confidence. Eddie Johnson and Al McCoy say it all the time. That's a dangerous, dangerous thing. And if we get up big early, that's dangerous as well too.
Yeah.
So overall, I think they're going to beat the Pistons. I think they're going to lose to the Warriors, but I wouldn't be shocked if we're back here Sunday night at 9:30 and we're talking about every single team winning every game. I wouldn't be shocked.
19-0.
Crazy times. We're going to be back here Sunday night, 9:30. Did you guys notice how I didn't say anything about Arizona State? Yeah, you know what?
It's not worth
it. They won the Territorial Cup. Forks up. I love it. Did you guys see the final score of the Arizona State basketball game tonight?
Embarrassing. I don't think
it looked like a
29
high
points.
school girls game.
29 points.
Yeah, Evan. I don't think I'm gonna watch for the rest of the year.
I don't think I'm going to watch for the rest of the year. I can't watch. I'm not taking my time out of my son to watch that. No.
Yeah.
29 points? No. Go away. Philly Sports Talk podcast.
Philly?
What's going on? Can't wait till we play you guys so we can get you on the pod, man. So yeah, we'll look into that when that time comes. But Phoenix Suns, the Arizona Cardinals. I'm so full of joy. Amit, can you leave us with some words of wisdom, please?
Yeah. Let me think for a second. So, you know, obviously these teams on a run. We can't take this for granted. Obviously, like, we are in uncharted territory with both these teams, with this happening at the same time, especially with the Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals have never been this good. They've been really good.
13-3.
But they haven't been what?
13-3, and
The seems
Right.
different though.
But the games, if you go back and look at those games, like, they were close games. A lot of those games are close. We had a clutch team. Right now, we have a clutch team that is clutch when they're not playing their best, and they're dominant when they are playing their best. Like, two different teams. Right? I mean, we're talking about
I love you, Amit.
chef's kiss, right? So that's it.
That's good.
We got. Let's just hope these teams don't stumble. And just appreciate it as we have it, because Chris Paul, we're enjoying this in his, you know, later years as a basketball player. We hated him, or we despised him when he was with other teams. Now we're seeing it for us, and he's doing the exact same thing that he did for 17 years or whatever it was. And let's just enjoy it and not take it for granted, because watch LeBron, it goes away quick.
Jay, words of wisdom.
So I was thinking, you know, after listening to Nick Wright today and stuff, and it came to me that Giannis has been in the league for a while, and he has been hungry for just any playoff success. I think everybody can remember he got like dog walked by the Heat a couple years, and then he came back and he beat the Heat, and like it took repetition for him to get to the point that he did. And for Booker and CP to do what they did first season in and getting as deep in the finals and being only 2 games away from securing it is a very, very promising sign. It's incredible. It's almost unheard of, especially when everyone was considering age and experience and these relatively unknown guys, right? And what's kind of crazy about both the Arizona Cardinals and the Phoenix Suns is that for the most part we're pretty organic, and this is also sort of kind of unheard of with how much poise both of these teams have currently. And like what Evan said in the beginning of this podcast, it's weird, like with these teams, because it's what they're doing right now is sustainable for the long run. Yeah, we can talk about the 13-3 Cardinals team or the 04-05 Suns or the 07-08 Suns. Like this is a different feeling, and I'm just glad to be witnessing it now. There's a different feeling with what we're watching right now, and I don't know the likelihood of a hometown winning both an NFL championship and a NBA championship in the same year. I don't know how many times that's happened. I know the Lakers did it both baseball and NBA, but I don't know how many times that's happened. I think it's likely this year that this can possibly happen, and it's just a different feeling this year. And for what the Suns did last year, just on the first playoff run, and this is why we trashed the Nuggets and the Jazz, because they've been trying to do this for the last 4 or 5 years, and we did it in one season.
Yep.
And
That's why they're mad.
we're dog walking these teams.
Yes, we are.
So to all the doubters, I really don't care. We can sit down and talk basketball. We can sit down and talk football. Well, like I can sit down and talk to a Lakers fan, and like we can have a conversation and like just heart to heart. Tell me what you think. But this Suns team's for real, and I'm glad people are finally noticing that. And this goes beyond this Golden State game. Like fuck the Golden State game. This team's here to stay for a while. Okay. We have like 6-7 guys in their prime right now. And then this Cardinals team, what they're doing right now is very sustainable. We're winning with injury-riddled rosters. Colt McCoy is pulling hat tricks out the wazoo. I'm fully bought in this year, and I'm ready to win this history. So everyone buckle up, and let's just hope everything that I said right now lives up to it, because this would be a nice highlight reel for both teams.
Wait, hold on. You said something, Jay, and I had to respond, because do you guys think Book's in his prime?
No.
What's Book's prime? MVP?
Yes.
Yeah, MVP. Yeah.
What takes
MVP candidate?
I think he is this year. I mean, barring this injury, it takes a couple weeks away, but I think he was on track, right? His defense is elevated. His playmaking,
his rebounding, his assists, his shot making, his 3-pointers. Everything's gone up for him.
Like, what would take him to that Kevin Durant level?
He's got to get to the 28 points per game mark. Honestly,
yeah,
he can't do it. He can't do it at 22, 23.
But do you think with the players that we have and the offense, the way that it's structured, that he could even do that? I don't think he can.
Not with. Wait until Chris Paul leaves, then we're gonna have a different conversation.
Yeah, or he like decimates, right?
And that's like what, 1 or 2 years from now, maybe 3. I think then we're gonna see a different Booker than we're gonna see now. Way different.
If Booker has like 5 to 6 40-point games a month, maybe.
He needs a torrential tear like that too. We need a couple 40-point games from Booker like in a row too for him to get that type of respect.
Like 30-point games are great, and especially in the system where everybody's scoring. Like Chris Paul came in a close second with Jokic, and I think the NBA office is like, we probably should have given it to Chris Paul, but like Devin Booker can definitely do it, and I think his peak is his prime will be Finals MVP.
I think so too, but I think he gets there before he gets to regular season MVP.
Yeah,
I just think we're probably going to add a different style of point guard that the market just has available, like a Terry Rozier, like a Malcolm Brogdon, or somewhere along those lines, that we're not going to get a ball dominant, smart player like a Chris Paul. I mean, there's only one Chris Paul, right? So I don't think we're going to get that type of point guard, which means we're going to see more point book. And I think at that point, it's just going to be, I just think he's going to be incredible in 2 to 3 years. Beyond what we see now.
I agree. The thing is, the team is so talented. Like, that's a problem, because like.
So you're saying our team is so talented we can spread it around to the point where he doesn't have
to carry the team.
Okay. And that's fair. That's
like
fair.
because we've
I'll trade
only
that any day.
seen flashes of Aiden at his best, right?
Mhm.
And Mikhail, like, you know, Kawhi, Pippen, there's all sorts of different comps for him. Cam Johnson, I mean, he's just starting to come into his own. And then Campaign by himself, like, if he gets consistent, that's a whole nother thing. Like, he's got his first step is so quick, dude. I mean, when he figures out how to utilize that every single time to just lay out those Mikhail Bridges golden, Inspector Gadget arms, like you can get those layups. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I just feel
Stretch
the team is so
Armstrong.
talented. I don't know how he can still be at his peak at MVP level and not win MVP. And this team is still fucking insane.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. My words of wisdom. I'm actually going to throw a challenge to you guys and a challenge to everybody listening. Last year, for the first time, me and my wife decided to sign up and help a family of need during the holidays. We went out and we bought a Christmas tree and ornaments. And I want to say there was another small little thing that we got. And the family at the time didn't see. I feel like the dad wasn't too happy about it. Like he was failing or should have been able to provide this himself or something along those lines. And so he seemed very not off put, but just kind of, stand backish a little bit. And I get that. I understand that. But I heard a little boy say, "Is that our Christmas tree?" And he got really excited. And that brought a lot of joy to me. So I challenge you guys, if you have the funds to be able to do so, and anybody listening, to sign up for a program in your local area and donate a Christmas tree or presents to a family of need. Not necessarily like a Toys for Tots, because I've heard rumors about what actually happens and they resell them and yada yada. But maybe try to find something on local Facebook accounts or something like that with families of need during the holiday times, because it's hard. It's hard for a lot of people, hard for a lot of families during the holidays. And it is the best time of year. Everybody's just a little bit more happier and chipper, and share that love, y'all. Share that love. So if you have the funds, have the means to do it, do it. Don't think about it. Take the time out of your day and your busy lives and schedule and do it. And Ahmed, if you end up doing it, bring your kids along as well too. Let them share the joy of giving to others. Jay, if you can do it, I challenge you to do the same thing. But funds, if you have the money to be able to do so or help out. Those are my words of wisdom for the day, and spread a little bit more joy.
No, I
in the
appreciate you
holiday
said
season.
that, Evan. I appreciate you said that because I think it's important. I signed up today to help a couple siblings that are in foster care to give them some toys. I'm going to have my son write
That's
them a note
awesome.
Beautiful.
to say, like, whatever he's going to write in the note. I'm going to let him decide. If anybody listening on this podcast needs help, reach out. I got you. Don't worry about it.
Yes, please.
If I
Anybody listening to the podcast that doesn't need help, we will not share anything. Reach out to me or the He's on Fire podcast DMs or Ahmed or any of these guys.
Yeah.
Would love to help out. We will not share any information if you do not want us to or nothing like that. Just want to spread the love, y'all.
Yeah,
absolutely. It is hard this time of year and stuff, and
especially after COVID.
Especially after COVID, and like Phoenix, there is like a homeless problem, and all this other stuff. You don't necessarily have to sign up for anything. If you want to, you can. Or when you're getting yourself some food and you see homeless people around, and just go get like a Jimmy John's sandwich and just drop it off to them. You don't even have to really say anything. Just happy holidays, here you go, and go along with that. I do that a couple of times during the holidays. I'm a young dad with all these other stuff, and I do what I can, and just
pay it forward.
Yeah, pay it forward. And it's not like I'm expecting good karma back. Like the universe is going to work in the way that it wants to. It's just being a good Samaritan, being a good peer to everybody, and just being joyful. And a lot of people are going through a lot of shit, and it makes you thankful for the stuff that you do have and recognition for that. So shout out to everybody here. Yeah.
Absolutely. I've got one more question for you guys, and I'm going to play the outro as we go. So I need a quick answer. By the way, we're going to be right back here this Sunday night, 9:30. I promise, by the swear Boy Scouts of God, whatever you want to call it, we will be here 9:30 discussing everything that happened in the NFL, discussing everything that went down with the Suns, and previewing next Monday night's game against the Spurs as well too, with or without Devin Booker. So here's the question. And potentially Brendan Clean as well. Potentially Brendan Clean from Locked On podcast for the Phoenix Suns. So he's going to be available on a weekend sometime coming up. Hopefully it's this one, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to play the outro music. Is Cliff Kingsbury going to be the Arizona Cardinals coach next season? Amit, go.
Where else would he be? Oklahoma.
12 mil for yes or no?
Better job. Tyler does a better job. So.
Jay?
Cliff is staying. Sooners are going fucking down. But see you guys on Sunday, man. Much love to everybody.
Later.
Sets. Looks up. And it is caught. Down strong. It's coming. Matthews. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald is insane to the 4-yard line. Crowder looking, throws it alley. Oh! He puts it down. He puts it down. They're getting a little wobbly. The downfield shot. The foot race. They won't get it.